with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people?
What it do? All right, so we gonna shoot the breeze about one of our favorite pastimes. At least as a child, I know.
As a child, especially as a black child,
Black child, yeah.
you definitely played this game growing up.
Yeah. And obviously, what they just did was they helped a lot of families come together, bro.
They helped them come together, but because if you look at how many people got mad when you hit that draw 4 or draw 8 or
Yeah, once you layered it up.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, Uno finally came out with an official rule saying that you cannot stack draw 2s or draw 4s or anything.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, you know how many times somebody got hit with a draw 4, somebody else throw out a draw 4, or they'll try to stack them draw 4s and keep stacking them.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, people be mad, quit the game. I know some people got in fights over it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man.
You violating.
But that's like with all them games, you be like, bruh, like, you taking it too far.
Yeah.
You cheating now.
You go.
And then they like, oh, well, we make up our own rules. Oh, when certain people say, oh, yeah, let's play Uno. Nah, I don't even want to play no more.
But you know how with us, first of all, I appreciate Monopoly on the phone for doing this though. But they had, it's like you can play standard, which the rules are set.
Yeah.
But they get, they got the whole free parking, which is not a thing. Like when people put money under free parking, like it's not a thing. But if you want to set that up on the actual game on the phone, they'll let you.
Oh, that's real.
So yeah, they let you. They understood that. Yeah, there's some people out there who play it a little different. You get the fines and stuff. You get to collect if you land on free parking. But Uno, like I said, it's different.
Like, I know people that were like, man, I slapped the whole card deck over and everything. I don't even want to play. Ain't nobody playing.
Slap the card deck over for Uno, flip the table for Monopoly.
Yeah.
It's just
And we already know, like, the old school games, like, when it came to playing dominoes got people shot.
Domino's is violent.
And then on top of dominoes, spade, the worst way to piss off an older person is to renege
Instant
or
pressure.
You can't call your hand
Yeah.
on some spades.
Yeah.
Older people do not play. If you I would say about now, if you around 45 and back, you play spades with them, you better know what you're doing.
You better know what you're doing. Don't even sit down. And some for spade tables, it's family usually they don't even let the kids come play.
Yeah. Hey. And then, people will cheat, talk the board,
Yeah.
do all types of stuff.
Guarantee.
Hey,
Every
quit
time.
talking the board.
Don't say nothing, just play. But you can't do that.
No,
What's spades without the trash talk that's disguising the board talking?
I'm curious. And it's just funny for me to think about it. But how do white people play spades?
First of all, I've met a lot of white people who don't know how to play spades. So I'm not saying that all white people don't know how to play spades.
Yeah, but I just think about it. Is the reason they don't want to play is because, we're a loving family. We don't want them issues. Because I'll say it like this. My grandmother was mad as hell at me one day because I was just learning how to play spades. And I was like, okay, I was putting certain stuff down. And you know how people be, he don't know how to play and everything. So I just put all my cards down. And when I put all my cards down, my grandma looked at me with this, God rest her soul, she in heaven now. But I still remember the look on her face. She's like, man, if you ever put your cards down like that again. I'm like, so you gonna threaten me, Grandma?
Like, you at the wrong table. Like, that's what people got to understand. Some things ain't for the kids, man. They just
But
not.
it's a game.
It's a game.
They say it's a game, but
it's
nah,
not a game.
You playing for real stakes. You ain't even got to play for money, but you playing for the fact
clout,
that
the respect. This is bragging rights this year,
yeah.
or at least for this family function.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna talk, they're gonna talk about it for a couple of days. Like, remember, who was busting heads? And,
Yeah. Oh, I remember because we used to play spades over my mom's house. And when we played spades over my mom's house, like, some people would come on and play. About this time, I started getting real good at it.
Oh, so you're prepared now.
Yeah, so me and my mom would get on the table and we just start busting people's heads. And this one dude, he was like, oh, he was talking mad trash. And he was right behind me. Every time I just kept, I don't even know what to say. And I roasted him the entire time. This is the only time where you're a little kid and you get to talk trash to the adults.
Yeah, you get to roast. You get to really go in.
Like, oh, he was mad at me, but you couldn't do nothing.
I'm just saying, if your hand get good enough as a child at the spades table and you just release like that one cuss word, like, get your... they probably wouldn't even tell you to stop. They be like, all right.
Man, I'm just cracking on him the whole time. I'm like, what happened? I thought you said you could play. Like, the same
so write a
thing.
passage. You just get the whooping. What? When your cards come right, when it's all in your hand.
I know he wanted to fight me for doing it because I wouldn't let up. I was like,
no point.
I seen people do this all my life. I'm like,
I'm here now. I'm ready. Fam, you picked the wrong. You picked the wrong table, the wrong child today. It's going down.
I'll say it like this. Nothing like playing them card games back in the day. I wish we could do it more now. But now that COVID is over with, you should be able to get back to...
I feel like it's going to definitely be more family function.
Yeah, because, you go to a family reunion, kids be over there playing Uno, adults be playing dominoes, the spades, gin rummy, all that kind of stuff.
But I always think about it this way, I mean, I feel like my brother, he's taking up the mantle mainly, but eventually it's going to get to a point where I don't know if families are that tight-knit anymore to where they do go to family functions like that. Like, you go to people,
Well, partly I blame that on us. And I would say our generation. Because the reason I say that is because you remember when your parents, for family reunions, we get together, we'll talk. We may not see each other all the time, but we'll talk. How often do we actually talk to our family?
Right.
Me and one of my cousins were talking about a month and a half ago, and we were like, man, since Big Mama and them passed away, we don't do it like we used to. Right. Our parents are trying to hold that mantle, but it's like...
But they're getting old. It's time. Somebody got to pick it up. That's why I be like,
But that's the thing is, it's like... And I'm talking about in your 30s. I'm 36 years old.
Right.
We're talking about that generation. It's not the job of the kids to try to take up mantles because some kids don't even know that certain cousins and stuff like that.
You don't know the connection.
You remember back in the day, even if you didn't want to go, you got to go over your cousin and them house.
You got to know everybody.
Like, man, they ain't ever got no good games over there. Y'all just outside just playing in the dirt.
Yeah.
It's like, you play your game when you get back home. You going to be over here. We going to play this game. We're going to eat this food. And you better not act a fool.
Yeah.
You get that one speech, hey, when you over there, you better not act up.
Don't act up. You know what it is.
If you act up, I'm going to act up right with you.
Yeah, because first of all, it's a family. We all family here. So if you get a whooping at your grandma's house, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying?
Well, should have sat down somewhere.
Should have sat down somewhere. It was your fault.
Even though we still crack jokes about my dad back in the day. Because, don't get me wrong, love my dad to death. I'd die for him right now. But my dad, we used to say he wasn't quite all the way there. We be at family functions having a good time. And me and my brothers, we roughhouse. We be over there playing and stuff. We play freeze tag too hard. Yeah. And somebody will always get in their feeling and start whining. Man, we were over my great auntie house one time, and I think I pushed my little brother too hard, and he started whining about it and everything.
Yeah.
My dad came outside. There was a tennis racket right over the side. He chased me and my brother down the street with that tennis racket.
Oh gosh, I don't understand.
And you could hear my great auntie, my uncles, and all that calling his name. Hey, stop, Junior, stop. like we were gone.
Nah, bro,
I
you
love
can't
my
chase
dad
your kids
to
with a
death,
tennis racket.
But my dad was one of them oaths who, when it come to a whooping, I don't care. You better be in the right position because I'm not about to fight with you to get in that right position.
Right.
Oh, you fell. You just wherever's that get hit.
Wherever you at, you just get. That's terrible. That's terrible. And don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. My dad, now that he got older, I know in his head he be like, man, I wish you would shut up about that. But I'm like, yeah.
It's my experience. Like, you can't tell me to be quiet. It's just like the government and the police force trying to silence NWA. It's like, no, we've been silent long enough. I should be able to at least talk about it. I can't say that, I can talk about this. That's what I feel like. At this point,
I'm old enough. I can talk about it.
we know what happened. Like, we don't like when people be like, stop talking about slavery. We don't like when people say, don't talk about the Holocaust. Because those were things that happened to real people. Those real pain and that happened. To them.
Those things happen.
But with the whoopings, it was a lesson too.
Don't get me
Now
wrong.
the other ones, I don't feel like there was any lessons learned outside of you got cruel and unusual,
all I can
unnecessary
say
people. But,
is them whoopings helped me run very fast.
Yeah.
It helped me move. Like, I don't want that.
I don't want that. Juke move.
Like, hey, because I think about it now, and when I have any action or interaction with the police, if we ain't cool, hey, you know what? I'm on my best behavior.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll fight it in court. I'm not about to act no fool out here.
Yeah, because you got another weapon now. You got another way. I don't want no problem with you,
like,
fam.
I don't want no
I remember I was talking to one cop. He came to the window. He was like, all right, you know what you was doing? I was like, don't even matter. I'm just trying to go home. What you want? Like, what you need? He didn't give me a ticket after that. He was like, well, yeah, you cool.
Yeah. I've had a police officer do the same thing to me. He was like, man, but they scared the hell out of me that day. I was like, I just want to go home. I was like, oh, well, let me check your stuff. You be okay.
You gonna be all right.
I'm like, it's so many of y'all, and it's only one of me.
Yeah, well, see, that's the lessons that whoopings teach you. Because no matter how many kids is outside, when you about to get a whooping, it's only you. It's only you, and if you act up in the process of getting a whooping, you liable to get whooped by more people.
And
too
you
much
know,
pressure.
you used to want to laugh at people, but you dare not laugh.
Nah, don't do that.
Laugh if you want to. You're going to be in the same boat with them.
Oh, you think it's funny? Nah, it's just might as well.
We got to bring back these card games and family reunions.
See, but then you got to also think about what you're asking for. You asking for people to bring back whoopings at family functions.
Look at it like this. Before we go on, real quick, look at it like this. Do you think we would be better off with that, given that discipline and all that stuff? Big Mama was there making sure, hey, Junior, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Okay, he done had enough of whooping.
Yeah.
Versus what they do now, where basically all the parents swear their kid does nothing wrong ever.
That's false. That's a lie. You're right. We're going to move on, but I agree. All right. Who's really the better communicator? Considering criticism is a big part of communication, but not everyone can handle it. All right, what you think? What you talking about?
So, communication goes a lot of different ways. A lot of people say, oh, well, you just don't talk enough. You don't express your feelings. But the thing is, if you can't handle me expressing my feelings, like if I tell you, hey, you know what? You may not be the best cook. You may not be the best negotiator. You may not be the best at doing certain cleaning or something like that.
Right.
I can't tell you that and you be fine about it, because a lot of times when you say those things, it's automatically taken as
an attack.
Yes. Yep. So since it's taken as an attack, you're automatically going to try to flip it or justify why you're doing this instead of communicating back and forth with
I just feel like when you're having a conversation with most people, it's not just in relationship, but with most people, but especially in your relationship, a lot of people mainly be looking for the rebuttal. They only want to hear what you got to say so they can know what they going to say to you next. They don't want to listen to you, put themselves in your shoes and try to see it from your point of view as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do both. Like, nah, I'm only here to listen so that I can tell you how you're wrong with what you said.
Yes. A lot of people communicate to win instead of for us to get a better understanding of each other.
You gotta, every conversation, your ultimate goal should be to either reach a middle ground or accept that we got different viewpoints and you might be right, I might be right, or you might be wrong, but it ain't my place to tell you you're wrong right now. You ain't
if we're talking about a relationship, we might as well reach a middle ground.
Yeah.
Hey, how can we both be happy with the decision?
Right.
Because think about it. If you're not happy with the decision, most of the time you're gonna butt that decision all day
Yeah.
long.
Or you get real like, spaced. Like I don't feel like telling you about this because you ain't listening. Every time I talk to you, then they be like, well, you don't talk to me anymore. I'd be like, well,
Yeah, because I can't get
I
my
don't-
point across.
I don't see the point in talking to something that don't receive.
Yeah.
Picture if we had these microphones and we was just talking into them, but they never picked up a sound.
Yeah.
People on the other end want to hear what we got to say, and that's exactly how a conversation got to be.
True.
You don't hear
A lot
me.
of times people don't want to hear the other end because they want themselves to seem like they're always right.
Right.
Like, if you, like, for example, anytime I do certain things, I always want me on something. If you're saying, hey, I agree on that, it's just the fact that really irritates me is now you hear all the time, men don't communicate. It depends on what you consider communication.
I was listening to this. One, I'm a firm believer in happy spouse, happy house. So long as y'all both happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was this one person, and they had said what it was. Thinking now that I said that other thing, I lost track of that thought. But regardless, I'm certain I'll bring it back around. It was I don't think I can. I lost it now.
It's okay, bro. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it'll come back. It always.
I
do.
just look at it as if we want to communicate, you have to be able to accept communication, meaning the good and the bad. If I say, honestly, your cooking is not the best, your question to me should be, how can I get better?
Right.
How can I make it better for you? Because if you're cooking for me, the whole idea is you should be trying to make it better for me, and vice versa. I love to cook. So anytime I cook, my wife will tell you, I always ask, how's it taste? What could be better? It's not insecurity. It's the fact that I want to be better.
My question is this, though. It was DJ who sent it to me. It was a TikTok where this lady was asking a question like, why is there a such term as strong, independent black woman? But you don't ever hear that amongst the other races. I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, but independent, majority of the time, means without need of anything else. It's self-sufficient. So if I'm trying to communicate with you and you feel like you're independent, and like our culture pushes that all the time. We push that. Like, oh, you need to be you don't need no man, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need focus on you. Focus on you. Even that song, lose weight, get in the gym and all that, the one guy, get your degree. Like, we push focusing on self so much. I want to know where that line of thought came from. You know what I'm saying?
I hate to say it, and I've said this. Me and my wife had this conversation, and it was funny because I'm like, debate me on it. Before Destiny's Child, did you ever hear the word independent? Did you ever hear you need a soldier and all that kind of stuff?
Right. All those contradictions.
Yes, all those. And I know somebody's going to be like, she was like, man, you can't talk about them. The Beehive will come after you. I'm not afraid of the Beehive. But I'm just saying, from the fact that it's like when you listen to this song, can you pay my bills? Yeah. Bills. Can you pay my telephone bill, my automobile, all these other kind of stuff? Then all of a sudden you start hearing so many women saying, you have to pay my bills. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm like, I've never been a bill payer for someone that I don't care about. Like, if that's my wife, yes, of course I'm paying.
We live in the
bills.
same house.
We live together.
But if I'm just talking to you,
it's like
first of all, the one song they made, Bugaboo.
Yeah.
I was like, so a man pursuing you, like you want me to be on top of Mount Rushmore, and just because I pulled up on you walking.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. She's walking.
Yeah.
I pull up on you walking just because I'm sitting in the passenger side. Like, now it's a problem. Like,
Yeah. If you look at the other one, all the women who independent, and I'm like, okay, don't get me wrong. There's always been independent women. There are women out here that was called being grown.
yeah.
It was not called independence.
What I want to say is, I just don't want that independent term to have so much power with our women. Like black
Yes.
women, it has too much power, because then I'm a single black mother. Then that leads to, this is single Mother's Day if it's Father's Day. It's like that independent thing causes you to create substitutes. It's like, my kids ain't doing without, I got a substitute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm the mother and the father. Why can't you just be the mother and let that
Be a
child
great mother.
express the fact that, hey, I don't have a father, and that hurts. Like, sometimes people, you throw all these substitutions and throw all that independence around to show that you're strong, because you're trying to hide that hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, stop trying to hide the hurt. Let everybody feel and they wonder why it's so much PTSD and stress about life, because nobody ever had the opportunity to really have that outlet to say what they need to say. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong. I understand as a woman what I can't say because I'm not a woman, but I could understand when women are saying they don't want their child to go without. And yes, that is true. Don't let your child go without. But yes, if your child is hurting because they don't have a father, man, I'm okay with you putting him on blast because he's not handling up his end of it.
Right.
Because the child should have a mother and a father.
Right. But okay, putting them on blast, are you saying in reference to like
That
shaming them, or
I
like
don't
what?
say shame him. I don't care
I
if
don't
you
know
shame
if I
him.
agree with that. Fam.
Okay, the reason I say it like this is like you laid down, you had the child.
Correct.
So if y'all have the child, both have responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you. If you're not handling your end of the responsibility, you trash. And yes, I'm not saying that. Okay, this is the whole way I'm looking at this. Is if she is allowing you to be in your child's life and you don't want to be in your child's life, that's your fault as a man because you laid down to have that child. Unless you say she drugged you, raped you, and all that kind of stuff, well, the R word, then it's your responsibility. Step up to the plate, do what you need to do. I know a lot of men out here, they're being fathers,
Right.
but they get downplayed because you see these raggedy trash dudes over here like,
Right.
oh, he don't really do nothing.
My thing is, when it comes to that conversation, it's difficult to have and then be like, oh, well, this man is this way versus this man is this way. Because I've seen quality guys go through life trying to do for their kids, and then they get pushed out because the mother has an alternative objective. I'm going to turn your kids against you. And it's like you weaponizing the children.
And
so I'd be
that's
like,
different. Like, yes, if the woman is, I'm going to call her trash. I don't care. Oh, well, I'm taking care of the kids. You still trash because you're deliberately doing this to X him out of the situation.
right.
So you're taking his responsibilities away from him.
And then that's why I get upset with
Like-
that term independent. When it's like, okay, well, if you independent, so what? You independent. Why can't that child be dependent on their father? Like, just because if that's the case though,
Yeah.
if that's the case, and he's trying and you
it
just trying to
goes
push him out.
by a case scenario. Because what we're not going to do, I'm not going to put all women saying this or all single women as saying this. Because I know there are actually good women out here that want the father to be part of their child's life.
Right.
But the father doesn't want to step up to the plate.
Right.
Trash nigga. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to say the N word so much, but I'm just
But
saying.
it is what it is.
But the same thing, if you are pushing that man out of his child's life, you're a trash woman. You call it whatever you want to. I say you're trash. You may not be a trash mother, but you're a trash woman for
Yeah,
it.
we can separate the two. Womanhood and motherhood, two separate terms in the dictionary, both with very different definitions. Just because you're a woman don't mean you're a mother. Like, that don't work
Yes.
that way. So, but you can be a trash woman and in turn be a terrific mother.
I love my child. Like, yes, you saying that and you working to get your child and have your child do the best you can, yes, you could be a great mother for that. Same as a father. You want those things. Right. Now, if somebody's taking it from you or not handling their end, that's on them.
That really is.
So that's why I say that. But it all goes back to communication. If y'all actually honestly communicate and don't say, I communicated.
All right, well, now, you know, another king. We still got time. So,
okay.
You said there has to be communication.
Yes.
Is that communication before or after sex?
It should be both.
It should be both.
Yes, it should be before and after.
When you got women out here who and men meet on Tinder, have a situation that go down, and they go have sex. It's their thing. They adults. They go have consensual sex, and then a child is produced. Now abortion's out the window.
The reason is okay with that. The only reason I could say it's both people's responsibility. Like, yes, you should be wearing a condom, and I'm sorry. I know everybody wants to push it the wrong way, but right. Yes, if you know you are having unprotected sex, you should be on some form of birth control too. If you know that, like, you hoping for the best is not going to give you the best results. Like, getting out here and doing the work. If you are like, I'm a single person, I'm living my life, whether you're a male or woman. I know some people say you could be a hoe, you can't be a hoe, all that kind of stuff, whatever. But if you're out here living your life and you're wilding out, whatever you want to call it, maybe you should think of the best way, the smartest way to keep yourself safe.
Just like a drug dealer, bro. Drug dealers I'm getting off the corner. Why? Because it's not safe anymore. The cops look for you there. I need to do this some other way. Got the dark web. So what I'm saying is, if you as a guy and or a girl decide to have your little moment where you gonna go out and you gonna be as promiscuous as possible, sleep with as many people as possible, or if you want to be a Maury girl, and we all know what a Maury girl is, like it's imperative that you figure out a better way to do it instead of going and trying to figure out who baby daddy 15 is.
I wish they would lock that door. Like, when they be trying to run through the door, just go and lock that door.
First of all, I wish they put some really tough, clear glass up there. And it's not them birds be running, just boom.
I thought about it. I'm like, man, if you don't quit running out this.
No. What I'm saying is I want them to hit their head hard enough to think about the decisions they making. Because the problem is, it be some people who have repeat offenses. You go out there, you don't know who the baby father of this baby is, and then you come back, well, I know who the father of that baby is. You said that before. Mm-hmm. And if history...
I'm 100% sure. No, you not. Because if you were 100% sure, you brought him up there first.
What I'm saying, if you 100% sure, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. So I just feel like, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling anybody to not, if you want to go have your one night stands and have your fun, live your life like you said. Yeah. But at the same time, it's called live for a reason. Like, you got to live it better. If you want to continue and have life after these dumb decisions you make, protect yourself in some fashion.
The thing that just boggles my mind is, if you know you have one night stand,
right?
Why wouldn't you just go through that whole, preliminary, hey, you know what? Are we wearing condoms? Which in one night stand, you should be wearing
always.
Condoms.
But I know
I'm like, nowadays,
There's about 1 hour stand. We got to start calling it one night stand. People be doing this in the daytime.
Yeah.
That 5 minute phase.
Yeah.
You just had a lapse of judgment.
I'm like, okay, even let's say you want, you hit that, I'm allergic to latex. Mm-hmm. Okay, at least be smart. Okay, we got Plan B. We got the stents that you can put in your arms. We got dental dams. We got diaphragms. There are all these other types of things.
We got options.
Yes, there's spermicides. There's female condoms. And yes, the reason I say it, there is more protection for a woman than a man. But as a man, be smart. And it's like,
one thing, like I said, I don't. Do men really need more than one form of protection? If I know this is the answer,
because there's them
I'm
dudes
gonna do
out
what
here.
I got. I
We
know.
all know there's them dudes out here.
But all I'm saying is, just because you that dude, don't mean that you aren't held to the same standard. Fam, look. Say what you want to say, but child support don't feel good, bro. I'm certain it don't. I know enough people to tell me it's not what
$1 for a condom, child support,
18.
$500,
and that's
600.
if they don't go to college. You know what I'm saying? You gotta add this up. Not saying that money should be the determining factor on your sex life. That ain't how. What I'm saying is,
but if in today's
burning don't feel good either.
society,
I'm sure
in
it don't.
today's society, we look at more on a money standard. So then put it on money standards.
Well,
then.
that's a whole nother conversation, because it seems like the only thing that people really care about in any form of relationship, business or like sexual nature partnership, is money. People have turned everything into money.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you on Twitter, why you got your Cash App on the Twitter?
I never understood that neither.
Plenty of Fish, why is your Cash App on your Plenty of Fish? It don't make sense, babe. You looking for a sugar daddy, you looking for a come up, and then wonder why. Oh, every guy I meet is this. No, because you presented yourself as in the form of prostitution. Vice versa.
Yeah.
If you a guy and the only thing you got on your Instagram is, I make X number of dollars, I do this. I don't show you
lead with money. Yes, you're gonna be taken as a trick.
You a trick.
That's what you is.
Because you and I know. Shout out to T.I. This is not to defame you in any way. I love your music. Dime Trap was amazing. But, you know what I'm saying? But, nah, bro, don't be lying to people telling you it ain't tricking if you got it.
It's still
still tricking, fam. It don't matter. Like, it ain't A's if you got it. No, nigga, it's still A's, bro. Like, it's still A's. I don't know why it's the same thing, fam. It don't. What you got is what you got.
People try to give you these jump around these
they
codes,
give you these scapegoats,
and they make it trendy. Justify it.
They make it trendy. You know what I'm saying? Like Super Predator. It's okay to profile black people because it's Super Predator. All right. What's the problem with gender roles? Like, why are people so against it?
I'm just curious about it. What's the real issue with gender roles? Because the whole idea was equality for both.
Right.
If I'm working all the time, yes, you should be taking care of the house.
Right.
This is gender role. It's like, because back in the day, men had to do more of the labor because women couldn't get certain jobs.
Right.
And I fully understand that. That's why you working at the house, because you couldn't have those jobs. And vice versa. If you the dude, let's say your wife, like last week when she was saying, oh, she making $300,000 more than a man. I'm like, hey, baby, you know what?
I'm gonna take a back seat.
I'm gonna step back. You the sole breadwinner. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna still be the man because that's who I am.
But that in part, there's the question. So we looking at it from a standpoint of, as a man, you make the decision to either step back or step up. And a woman, now they got the option. I can either be the breadwinner or be the home provider. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of men have, like she was saying, issue with, hey, I'm going to just do for the home. Because at this point, a woman can, because of how we set it up, which is, in my opinion, correct, anybody can provide for their home. Nobody should have an opportunity to feed their kids taken away from them just because of their gender. And we as an American people agreed to that. We agree with that. That makes sense. So the question that I'm having is it so much that the women are upset that they got to go to work, or they feel like we taking that opportunity away from them to be housewives or whatever? Or is it just that men, when it comes to us, we have an issue taking that, what society would have deemed a subordinate role, and being a homemaker as opposed to a breadwinner?
I honestly would just speak from how I feel. This isn't all men. This isn't all women, anything. This is from how I feel. I think a lot of times one of the issues is, as guys, we are so worried about our pride. The man, that machismo, that, our money speaks volumes and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, is me as a person speaks that value. It's not me as a man. Yes, I'm a grown man. I'm going to do what I need to for my family. But let's be real. If my wife make $300,000 more than me, not $300,000, but $300,000 more, baby, you got the financial bulk.
Yeah.
You making the money.
Right.
Now, as long as you're not throwing that in my face,
Yeah.
I don't care. Baby, get your money.
You getting paid.
Because when you get paid, we get paid.
Right.
It's us in this together. It's not your money, my money. Because when we got together and we got married, when we decided to become husband and wife, we decided to become one.
Right.
So if my wife say, hey, baby, I need this. Okay, baby, go and get it. Go and do it. Do what you got to do. And it should be the same way, no matter what. No, no. If I say you could do it, you say I could do it. It's not about the gender role to me. It's the fact that we in this together. It's like you're going to be strong in certain areas. I'm going to be strong in certain areas. You pick what you're strong at, what you know for a fact you can do. Baby, that's you.
Right.
Go and get that. I'm going to show you what I could do.
I think at this point we take the gender off and just say the roles. Because ultimately our objective is to fulfill each void in the life.
Yeah.
So your kids want presence. The past dictated that the women provide that presence.
Yeah.
The woman is the one who provides the presence in the home. But in this new financial landscape, if the woman is better suited to be the breadwinner, because she makes, in that case, what she said, $300,000 more than you, bro, she's filled that role.
Yeah.
That would be the equivalent of going and telling Michael Jordan that, hey, bro, don't try to be the star of the team. Like, let somebody else do that, and because we need somebody who can talk to people instead of play. We need people who can be, nice to the other players. Like, no, bro, what I'm good at is what I'm good at, and we gotta understand once the role is filled outside of the gender. Moving from the Michael Jordan back into the role, like I said, some people have a hard time. But moving from the basketball analogy back into the relationship analogy, right? We all know there's positions in the household that need to be maintained. We do need money to come in because that's what provides the household.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do need the household cleaned.
Yes.
At the same time, we need somebody to be taking care of the kids that we have. We also need somebody to take care of the cars that we have. We also need somebody to be planning out for the future. Like, all these are roles. And in the past, we put a gender distinction on those roles because we had to. Yeah. If the man generally makes more money than a woman in the past because a woman just could not earn more than you, true, then yeah, the role is sent to you because you're better suited for the current climate. Role. Yeah, for the current climate and the laws and stuff we got in place, you better suited for that. But now, like I said, a woman can get online and sell pictures of her feet, fam, and make $60K a year, and she could never see her face, never know what she look like, but we know she getting paid because she put some oil on her feet, fam. Yeah. So if she can make $60K sitting on the couch, whereas I got to make $50K pulling line and rebar and concrete, fam, look, you better suited for this now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to understand there is an energy to being a man. There is an energy to being a man to where, hey, naturally, I have a presence that has to be, maintained. Like when I show up and I say something in the household, people move. They know to either get out his way or get him what he asked for.
What's funny is because me and my wife were talking about this one. And the reason I bring up me and my wife is because I'm not ashamed of my household. I'm going to say exactly what needs to be said because some people are like, oh, well, do you do this? Or how you feel about this? No, me and my wife speak about all these different things because we're trying to do the best we can. We're trying to be the best we can. So, yes, we have to speak about these things. It can't just be like, oh, well, me man, you woman. Or, oh, well, I could do this, you could do that. There were times when my wife made more than me. Times where I made more than my wife. At the end of the day, it all goes to the house.
The bills got paid. The role was filled.
Yes. And
like,
like
what it is.
one of the things I say is like, yes, my presence in my household, everybody knows my presence. And it's not, but my wife's presence is known too. It's just certain things I'm known for. When daddy say, pick up them toys, they don't go, okay, and not do it. They just do it right then because they know
it's a presence.
It's going to happen. Like, you know what? I need to do what this man says right now because I know what's going to happen if I don't.
Right.
Now, sometimes my wife will say something and then they'll slow poke around. And I'm like, I don't want to step on her feet. But then I'm like, hey, you heard what she said, right? And then they get in there and get it done.
One thing I don't feel like you should view that as stepping on somebody's feet. The other day, I was in here trying to show Paige read, and the app told me how to do it. Like they were saying, you gotta let Paige. Well, I'm saying Paige. You gotta let your daughter or your kid read this app on their own, unassisted. Mm-hmm. And so I was heavily relying on the app because that's what the app said. You know what? I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let that be.
Yeah.
But my mother-in-law saw that. Hey, there's a disconnect because Paige, like natural observation, my daughter was not doing well with that app. Okay. It just was not working. But at the same time, like according to the app, if we follow this plan, we'll get to these results, right?
Yeah.
She stepped in and she started to teach, and you got to take into account. Well, she raised my wife, and my wife knows how to read very well. So the techniques that she uses proven. I don't know what this app. They say it's gonna work, and I'm just going on that. And so I'm like, nah, I gotta go with the tried and true method that works. Mm-hmm. So you gotta say, I don't view it as stepping on toes. I view it as this method I know works. It's tried and true. Like I did, like if my mom came in, like at one point she had like this little chalkboard thing. If my memory is, I was a child then.
Yeah.
But we sat in a chair in the apartment in the kitchen, and she was writing somehow on either a wall or the refrigerator, and that was teaching us how to read. So I'm like, that's what I remember. So it worked because I can read. If my mom used that same method today to show Paige something, I know the method works. Why? Because I'm result. So I don't view it as stepping on toes. If you said, hey, did you hear what your mama said? You're just reinforcing, hey, what she's saying is backed by me. Don't think she's an extension. We won. Yeah. If I come up and I tell you, pick up them toys, or she tell you, treat it as if I'm whoever you hold the highest regard for in that moment, you move in that light because it can be dangerous anyway. She could come back if she don't want to do the damage and she come tell me about it. Mm-hmm. We won. You disrespected her. You disrespected me. This period. We gonna handle this as a unit now. Now you gonna get hot dogs for dinner and you gonna get this whoop. Ain't gonna get double dosed on. It's not good.
That remind me of my brother when he was younger. Like my mom told us to clean up, but my little brother was over here mad as hell because she told me to go clean up some other stuff, and she told him to wash the dishes, and he was like, "It's Jeremy's turn to wash the dishes," and she was like, "I told you to get in there wash some dishes." Yeah. And then he called himself bucking up and like, "Oh well, he ain't gonna wash the dishes because he mad," and she started whooping him and everything. My dad came in and was like, "Man, what's wrong?" And she was like, "Oh, he ain't washing these dishes. He need to get in there and wash these dishes."
Right.
And then she popped him again, and then he yelled out. I remember it like it was yesterday, and I felt so bad afterwards because he was like, "Stop hitting me." And when he said that, then my dad.
Now it's a problem.
Now it's a real issue.
It was small at first. If you would have treated it as if your dad said wash the dishes, because I guarantee you, he ain't gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna get that done, and I'll probably come to you later and be like, now Jeremy, you know you're supposed to be washing the dishes, man. But I ain't in the console stand.
And I was like, oh. But then once he said that, then my dad was like, I don't know, something just snapped in him, and like he started beating the hell out of my brother. And I'm like, maybe I should just go wash the dishes.
No, you can't do that. Just that. See, that would be impeding on that lesson. That lesson needs to be taught.
But you ever had that happen where it's your sibling get messed up a
Yeah.
little too bad, and you like,
I feel bad for you. I really do, because if I'm nothing, I'm empathetic. I can insert myself into a terrible situation and not have been in it. Like, man, I know I feel like I understand what it would feel like to mess up at that caliber, but at the same time, there's a reason why you getting this whooping and I'm not. She told me to clean something else. I didn't ask no questions. I got up from where I was sitting and I went to work. So you gonna be the choices you make lead to the results you get.
yeah.
I'm just saying. So if you and his brother don't deal drugs in any way, but if your brother was about to go to jail and serve 10 years for selling heroin or something, I feel for you. I could almost understand what it would feel like for somebody to tell you 10 years of your life's going to be wasted. Sitting in a spot, one central spot for 10 years. But at the same time, just because I feel sorry for you, bro, don't mean that I'm finna go and take half of that sentence. No. These are the lessons that belt provide were lessons for life. That's what I be trying to tell people. We always want to look at the negative, but you hurt the kid, You could have said it. Body language is a language too. The belt is saying something.
Yeah.
It's saying get right now. Stop playing with me. I'm not a joke. I'm not a toy. Do what I just asked you to do and do it with an extreme sense of urgency. That's how I view that. I'm not finna know. And everybody gonna get their lesson.
Yeah.
Some kids don't know how to read. Some kids don't know how to do math. I'm not going to take the math kids and put them in reading class just so I can get A's. No.
Yeah.
You need math? Go sit in math and get that whooping, because that's the lesson you need. I don't see no point in that. I don't see no point in that. Nah, we don't share the load on this. No, I don't believe in group punishment. Ain't no such thing.
I understand.
Individual whoopings for individuals. It makes individuals. It teaches you. That's that education. Should you get brownie points for being a good parent?
No.
I don't either.
I don't believe brownie points are necessary because of the fact that that's your job. Right. That's what you should do, whether you want to call it a job or not. That's what you're here for. You're here for the parent. As a mother, you're here to be a mother. As a father, you're here to be a father.
My question would be, do you give single parent trophies?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I'm not giving, because yes, if I, God forbid something happens to my wife.
Right.
I'm going to be the best father I could be. I'm going to try to teach my child the best way I can.
Right.
I would, yes, other people, we have a good net of family members that will actually try to help out.
Yeah.
But I am that child's father. I'm not his father and mother, all that kind of stuff. I have I have people in my life that will actually, hey, could you tell my daughter certain things? Like, yes, because daddy don't know what it's like to be a girl. I literally know nothing about actually to live the day in life as a girl.
Right.
I don't. So, yes, I want somebody to help me out. But I'm not going to be like, oh, because I'm a good father. Yes, you should pat me on my back and tell me all this great stuff. I know I'm a good father, so I'm not expecting you to pat me on my back.
Right.
When my child's smiling, when my child's happy, that's my pat. Yeah. That's what make me happy. Uh-huh. I'm like, oh, when you over here giggling and like my daughter, like her little freeze pops. I'm like, she be all happy and dancing with it. Like, we have this song that me, my daughter, and my son sing all the time. It's called The Dancing Monkey. And we'll just start singing it all together. Honestly, I get on to my daughter because she want to play it so much. But when she plays it and when we play it, listen to it, that's my pat. It's like, that's what we do. Right. That's what daddy hear.
Yeah.
So I don't care about all that stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not a badge of honor to be a baby mama.
No.
Like, that song back in the day really got on my nerves because it's like Fantasia was singing it, like the BABYMA. This goes out to all my hey, baby, I understand if he ain't here, I'm sorry. But it's not a badge of honor.
Well, I don't know. We can't.
It's a badge of honor to be a parent.
This is what I'm gonna say in reference to the Fantasia. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I feel like Fantasia just understood that regardless, she put her baby mama, but she could have put baby father too. It don't matter. She just understand that it's a little more difficult to try to cover all the roles. Because like I said, we removed gender from it. It's a different to cover all the roles. Yeah. But I feel like the way that society or the media plays that out to say that I'm a strong, independent black woman, or hit you with I'm a baby, the baby mama, this, that, and the third. It's the equivalent to White Lives Matter. It's a slight against the opposite of whatever we talking about. So if I did this on my own, I didn't need no man. Okay, that's the slight. If you took it and you just said, hey, I was everything my kids needed. That's an honest statement. Yeah. If you the only person there at the time, you absolutely right. I was all my child needed.
Yeah.
You had, and I will give people kudos for traveling a harder road. Now, most times that's a self-inflicted harder road.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you able to bear sweet fruit from bitter roots, I'm not finna sit here and tell you that you don't deserve a pat on the back. You do. But your pat on the back shouldn't come because they literally cut my hand off to throw it at your back. Like, I shouldn't get hurt for you to feel some sense of greatness. Like, that should come internally. Like, I don't need nobody to tell. That's keeping up with the Joneses. That's trying to keep up with perception. That's trying to keep up with somebody else. I don't need validation.
Well, I just look at it as like, be a parent.
Yeah, just do what you're going to do.
Do what you have to do for your children. Whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, whether you're doing this together or you're doing it separately. Whichever way. Like, yes, my children being happy, that's my pat on the back. That's the
validation.
That's what makes me feel
good. The customer.
Like,
I'm not saying that your kid's a customer.
Like, for example, yesterday when they were like, oh, y'all out with your children and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, we do this all the time. And at first they were trying to make it seem like all the kids were mine. And I was like, no. Each one of them. Everybody got their own kid.
Everybody got a daddy.
Yeah. It's not one dude with 3 kids. It's like, no. I got a kid, that's mine. He got a kid, that's his.
Right.
And people were coming up like, you and your brother were over there just talking. I don't know if y'all know this, but like 3 or 4 people came over and just patted me on the shoulder and stuff.
I just feel like, but I get where they're coming from, but we also got to look at it from how we got to look at the culprit. Media tells them that don't exist. The net tells them that don't exist. It's people out here who their view of black men is only what the television tells them. It's only, hey, they don't, because you took off. I don't see Fresh Prince or Bel-Air on television no more.
Yeah.
I don't see Steve Urkel and Family Matters. I don't see those no more. So they don't have an opposing view to all the crime dramas that we are typically sprinkled in heavily.
So you think that's strategically planned?
I know it's strategically planned. I don't see no. They can sit back and they can tell me all day, every day, oh, well, the writers are black people. I'll be like, but they ain't speaking. Like, at a certain point, that's why, don't get me wrong, even I need money because I have to live a certain lifestyle. But with that term, all money ain't good money. Yeah. If you gotta sell artificial stories or sell the perception that your people are less than just to turn a quick dollar, leave that money up.
One show I could actually give props that reminded me a little bit of growing up. everybody hates Chris.
I knew it was coming, man. I knew it was coming.
Everybody hates Chris. Like my daddy, he worked a lot. He worked hard
all
to
time.
take care of his family. He talked to us a little bit, but for the most part, he was going to work.
I gotta go to do my job.
It's like
that was heavy gender roles. Like our lifestyle, our time heavy on gender roles.
Yes,
like
this is what it
everybody
was.
got.
Daddy went and worked.
Yeah, that's what men do. Men go work. You know what I'm saying? I said my mom, she had a job.
Yeah,
the entire
mine did
time.
too.
She worked hard.
But my mom would come home after work. She'd be a little tired. She do cooking. She do chores around the house. She make sure we do chores around the house, all that kind of stuff. But my dad, he'd leave at the butt crack of dawn, and then he wouldn't come back till nighttime. He get his food, eat, chill out a little bit, all that kind of stuff. Probably watch some TV, go to sleep, do it all over again.
Reverse, go back, repetition.
Like everybody hates Chris. I was like, okay,
if you looking for, but also they had different characters from the neighborhood, and I feel like people they want to take those characters as opposed to the quality ones. Like it was a point where it was a guy messing with Chris, and then he just said, "Paul," he was like, when you taking a shower, I'll be there. Like basically, he let him know no matter what you do, if you messing with him, expect me to show up.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. You can other people in this block, you might be able to have your run of the game, do whatever you gonna do, but this one. Every time you breathe, if your thought process is on that child, buddy, I'm going to be right there. And you're going to have to deal with me. That's why I be like, that's the real father that I be like, y'all don't be seeing that. Like, y'all see all these people. And like I said, I hate how social media moves because social media is like a magnifying glass, is a vacuum. If you don't seek other things, the feed and how the algorithm works, it's only gonna feed you what you seek. So if you're looking for black men not to be for their kids, or looking for those hood videos or this, that, and the third, it's gonna litter your page and it's gonna give you this perception. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I see a lady who's 50 plus just hopped on Facebook that want to tell you all men are on the low.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, but do we not have brothers? Do we not have uncles?
Men want to be
How did you get here?
Instead of
I mean, like it's quality men out. It's a lot of men out here who really want to be in a quality relationship with a quality woman, but your perception of men has been so negative for so long. It's draining to deal with you on that level. I meet you tired.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I met you yesterday and I don't know you. The same woman had the same perception of how black, like you said, you got patted on the shoulder 4 times. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
but at the same
time,
your perception.
I was like,
they just want to be. I want to let people know.
Validate you. Let me know. Great job.
Which is cool. I'm not trying to say that validation is wrong.
I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is,
You see 3 grown men here. And you see 3 children, but y'all don't believe 3 grown men have each one of them got a child.
Right.
Like, all 3 of them gotta be mine?
Yeah. Oh, and first of all, there's one statement. I thought they were twins. I was like,
no, she said they were triplets.
Triplets. I was like, ma'am, all black people don't look alike. Stop. You don't even know when you throwing that racist about it. But I'm like, it was innocent in nature. But at the same time,
to be innocent, but I was like,
it gave off that vibe of like, I wanna validate this in this moment. It's like going to the zoo and being like, oh, where's the lion exhibit? Look, there's 3 cubs walking behind that lion. That must be the father of all those children.
I was just like,
like stop,
they
man.
don't look nothing. Like I'm like, okay, you can say. Yours and your brother's daughters.
They favor.
They similar, kind of,
but not a lot, not enough.
Because Paige looked more like Ronnie than anything. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, my daughter a little light. I'm like,
my thing is, this is how I want people to think about it. If you as the opposite race or another race, I don't want to say opposite race because there's no I mean, I'm gonna just speak this, then we gonna jump on.
Yeah.
If you know a black guy ain't gonna just come up and pat you on the shoulder because 3 kids sitting with you as a man, then you shouldn't feel comfortable doing that to black guys. Cause I don't ever I see a white guy with 3 kids sitting down, or 3 white guys sitting down with some kids. I never feel compelled to go tap them on the shoulder.
Yeah. I was just like, it just seemed awkward, but I was like, I don't want to get off that angry, leave me alone, angry black man thing. But I'm like,
I know the reason you're doing what you're doing is because your perception of me and my people is so low.
And I even stopped. I don't even know if y'all heard me when I was like, no. That's his daughter. That's his daughter.
Yeah, I heard that part.
I was like, hold up. I'm like, oh.
But I just feel like, and that's part of why I be like, don't get me wrong, I ain't really got no issue with South Lake. But I know if I literally went down the street, downtown Dallas, and did the exact same thing, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because they see black people on a consistent basis. They understand one prototype or one stereotype isn't everybody. That's just one person, and you amplify him because it makes for good television. Yeah. Real life and TV, 2 separate things, and we gotta get to a point where we understand that. It's a lot of rappers out here who talk about shooting their guns, right?
Man, but it's a lot of them ain't even
They
busting
never
nothing.
touched it. They don't do that for real. It just sounds good. That's why, baby, not the baby, but baby,
yeah,
his little documentary that he did, Untrapped. Mm-hmm. I was like, bro, that's real. At a certain point, you gotta get to. I'm done with this foolishness, bro. I'm not. No, if I continue down this path, what my people gonna have? What my kids gonna have? Yeah. And then he recognized I got a talent. People like when I do this. Let me double down. Let me go 100% in on this, because I done been to prison too many times the other way. And not saying that you ain't good at it, but just saying, look, I could do this, make more money, and not have to even deal with that. That's a real thought process. That's how we really move. Every man, regardless of race, should be moving in their best light. How am I gonna get to the next phase? How am I gonna make it better for the people who come after me?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's real, first of all, adulting, but outside of that, when you a man, you got to really double down on that, because there's so many ways for you to mess yourself up in this game. Now we're going into the you won't believe this phase. Brought to you by.
Oh, also, before we get into brought to you by, please subscribe our podcast.
Oh, yes.
Something, the number 4, DA people.
Okay.
We're on everything. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, any place you can find it where podcasts are shown, we're there. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe, show it to a friend, all those good things.
All I'm saying is, think about it this way. We bring content to you, period. We don't ask for no donations, no none of that. You can help us grow this platform so that other people can view us and understand how black men, and when it comes to black people in relationship, how we really move and how we really operate. And I really need to stop saying just black people, because I do want to get some other people on here so we can have that conversation where we can bridge the gap.
And yes,
you can meet real.
That's exactly what I want to do. I try to bridge gap between cultures, between everyone. Right. I want us all to understand. And you can help us by liking, subscribing, and sharing.
Help us reach more. That's all I'm saying. Help us reach more people. That's what it is.
Anyway,
and if you want to be on, holla at me. Just send me a message.
Leave a message. Let us know.
DJ gonna catch that. We gonna be honest. DJ gonna catch that. He gonna tell us. I guarantee it.
But so, shout out to my beautiful wife as always. Love you, baby. Check out wasteddesires.com. It's a waist beads business. They also have anklets, bracelets. They have thigh chains, different things for women in general.
Did they do the bridesmaid garter?
And then after that, you should also check out Choices Like Mine. Mm-hmm. This is hair care products for black women by black women.
Yep.
All women can use it, but we know as black people there are certain things we shouldn't and cannot use on our hair.
Right.
So this is actually made by a black woman to actually help black women.
Yeah.
And then check out Yanni Like Mine. If you do not know what Yanni Like Mine is, look up Yanni. I promise it's in there.
Just look up Yanni Like Mine. Go see what they do. It's beneficial to you. I guarantee you. It's for women.
Ladies, check it out. Like, subscribe, all those good things.
Done deal. Tyler Bailey, luxury clothes, luxury guy. Mike, a.k.a. Wooly, or Wiggle Man. He's wiggling in these game spaces. He got a podcast, State of Being. You should see him. All right. Joe Biden has decided that, what took place with the whole war against drugs and the marijuana and all that was wrong.
So basically, partly what he started.
Yeah, he definitely played a
Major role.
key role in that. Outside of his key role that he played, he's trying to make amends for what he feels was a violation of human rights. Okay, so he's pardoning people. He's pardoning people on a federal level. Keep that in mind. On a federal level. For marijuana charges and offenses. That equates to roughly about 0 people. If you really take, I don't think there's anybody charged federally with marijuana.
I don't think so.
Case.
I think it's on state. Well, he's asking.
He's
state
asking,
level
and
people.
that's where I'm not shooting shots, Biden. I'm just saying. We can do a mask mandate.
Mm-hmm.
It's mandatory you wear a mask, but I can't tell you as a state it's mandatory that you free these people who we wrongly convicted and we are also making coin off of as we speak. It just makes it different.
They made millions off of these people already. And a lot of people do not understand that marijuana is natural. I hate to say it. I don't smoke.
Neither do I.
When I was in college, I did a couple of times, but I really don't because that was not the thing for me. But I'm not knocking anyone that does. But for you to literally try to put somebody in jail, and give them real time behind it, it's an issue.
First of all, when Obama and Bill Clinton, but mainly Obama, who came out and said, I might have smoked a little weed.
Well,
that lets you can smoke
Bill
weed.
Bill Clinton said, I did not inhale. He had the old school say, I didn't. Bruh,
but
that's the same thing that he did when he hit Michael Lewinsky. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's what's going on. You see how you got that caveat, that small switch. I just choose a key phrase. But I feel like if you can reach what we consider the highest office in America anyway, or for some people the highest office in the world, if you can reach that and have smoked a little bit of weed, I'm just saying, I don't feel like it's something that we it's not that gateway drug we was all hoping that
that was just
claiming
propaganda.
Would be. Yeah, it was just and the thing about it is at this point the cat's out the bag. They got the audio recordings of Lyndon B. Johnson saying what he was saying. They got everybody recordings telling you why we're doing what we're doing. We're targeting Black and Latino men.
Yeah.
And this is how we gonna get him. We want that one boxer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going across the state lines. He's keeping these women with him. We gotta stop him. Get him on marijuana, get him on traffic, and get him on something. He can't be out here beating people up and banging them.
My whole thing that just made me so mad about it is why does it take so long for this? And the mandate, bro, you the president. Why not? Federal trumps state.
Yeah.
In all other cases, except this case.
In this case, because what you're trying to say is the prison industrial complex, we finna release a whole bunch of people who making the Victoria's Secret draws right now for $1. We gonna upcharge that by 50. You know how much money we losing? Not saying I'm gonna get out that conspiracy theory gas. Like,
like I understand what you're saying because a lot of people out here in the world do not understand because people think slavery is illegal. Mm-hmm. Slavery is illegal except for one place.
Yep.
Prison.
Prison.
And yes, if you look at the 13th Amendment, and that's why I say a lot of people don't understand certain things because you are free except if you go to jail. Then you are a slave of the state.
And that's when they had the whole little curfew thing. See, a lot of people think that curfew is something that you imposed as a parent on your child. No! You get caught as a black person outside after dark, we gonna take you where? To jail, where you can also be considered what? A slave again. Free labor source. It is what it is.
Prison, pipeline to prison. Like, a lot of people do not understand it, and I just am like, please think and read, because reading is fundamental, and I wish people would really understand, if you want to be better, maybe you should start learning better, doing better. And yes, back in the day, we could say certain people were against us. And now I could say certain people still try to be against us. But it's up to you to understand who, how, and why they're against you.
Right.
Like, this Joe Biden thing, it irritated me, because I'm like, bro, you the president now. You trying to get everyone clear on federal charges. And part of me was like, cool. But then I'm like, state. What we going to do about that?
Well, my thing is, see, this is where it all comes back. It's like we shoot back. Who elects our state officials? We do.
But that's the thing is, because everybody, like, we throw the propaganda out, our vote doesn't matter. And there's somebody out here that's like, oh, you're right, I'm not going to vote.
Yeah.
And then you lose your vote. And you also got to remember, when people go to jail and they are convicted of felonies and crimes of that nature,
you lose the right to vote.
Yes. And when you lose the right to vote, and 1 in every 3 men loses that right to vote. If y'all don't know, statistically speaking, 1 out of every 3 men goes to jail. And when they go to jail on some charge that ends up hitting them with a felony, they lose the right to vote, especially in certain states. In certain states, as long as you're not on probation, you can still do certain things.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a poll tax to me. It sounds like a plan right there. That's all I'm saying. Because who also didn't have the right to vote? Well, slaves.
Yeah.
Who also did labor that nobody else wanted to do. And in this case, we might as well just call it free. That's what it really is.
Yeah.
Slaves. So you take away my right to vote, which is what you didn't want me to have, and then you put me and lock me up and keep me in a certain area. Just because you put concrete around it, don't make it not like it's still a plantation. It's just a bigger one.
Yeah.
You know, you give me recreational time. Like, stop. The prison is just a factory, bro. A factory where people can't leave. That's all it is.
I think a lot of people need to understand these things, so you could at least try to avoid certain things. When you keep falling into the same trap, it's like,
when you keep falling into the same trap and then setting it up for your kids to fall into that same trap, then they set it up for their kids to fall. It's a system that never breaks. And that's also why I be saying, like, don't get me wrong, relationships, but when I talk about relationships, it's not just man and woman. It's not. It's people. It's everybody else got people lobbying for them. Everybody. They collect a whole bunch of people, and they gonna have people who fight on their behalf and try to get laws changed and acted and all this, except for black people. Don't get me wrong. Now, the churches, they do their thing for the most part. But
the thing is, a lot of churches are bought off now. That's why you get your free tax situation.
Right.
But people don't understand that. There's a lot of things that people, like, they always say, study and show yourself approved. If you go biblically, it says that. So, my thing is, if we're going to be honest with this law, it's just like, how many people really getting locked up for weed nowadays?
No, not many.
Now, in the 90s, yeah, they were getting locked up hand over fist.
Yeah, because it was a plan. Another thing. If you don't believe that it's a plan or something like that, just think about how music is ran. And I'm gonna jump to the next topic because we got things to do. But think about music. Record labels was pushing an agenda. Period. When you finally got some artists like Chance the Rapper, and I know people have their feelings about his music or whatever, because some people like, oh, he corny, he this and that. Me, I think it's refreshing. I think he's actually exceptionally talented. You get various artists. You got people out here now. I don't need nobody. I just need distribution, and they get to say exactly what they want to say. It's not packaged. It's not none of that. This is what I want to say, and they own the rights to it. So now I own it. Not only do I own it, I get to say what I actually want to say. And I'm going to find the people who want to hear what I got to hear, what I'm saying. Yeah. It's different. It's a different vibe. So now record labels got to come to terms with what they doing. Because there's another option. It's not just what we doing. Hey, they could always be independent. They don't have to use us. And they still going to get heard just as much. So we at this point, what we got to do, we got to conform to some, we got to give in to some of their wants. Like at a certain point, like when people was talking about they masters, like when Prince come back and tell you, bro, I had to give up my name. I'm the artist formerly known as. Like I'm on the Mount Rushmore and somebody else telling me I can't say who I am, what I decided my name's gonna be. I created this name before any label was looking at me. Yeah, I lost that. Drew, we just glossed right over it like that didn't even happen. We still call him Prince. Mm-hmm. Look, that's all I'm saying. What I'm telling you is at a certain point we got to come to terms with, hey, if we don't come together and view ourselves as people who can group up and make and enact things based on our behalf, we got to get rid of that independent. We got to be unified. Forget independence, unified. We'll be a independent group. We can do that. But nah, we got to be done with that foolishness. We got to be done with it. An independent unit? That sound good. I like that. But that independent, all for self, nah. We see what it got us. It got a lot of us locked up, and, history could repeat itself. Kanye West on Drink Champs. Speaking about this non-unity, like disconnected.
Like I'm just saying, I'm gonna come out and say it. I don't like Kanye West. Yeah. And I used to love Kanye. I was one of the biggest Kanye fans ever. I was like, man, I knew all of his first 3 albums. I knew every song to every lyric in, like, I knew it all. And I'm like, Kanye, I'm like, first your mama die, I understand it's a hard thing. Then you become a Kardashian. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's okay, cool. That's fine. That's what you do. Now you just keep going down this rabbit hole. Then he had that beard on. I don't know what that was. I'm like, bro, my daddy ain't even got a beard like that. My dad old school. You ain't got, like, bro, you could. Yes. And now you over here, you anti-Semitic. You over here talking about black people. And I'm like, bruh, we got enough people talking about us. We got enough people doing certain things. Then all of a sudden, like, you talking about anti-Semitic Jewish people. Then you got your White Lives Matter shirt on. Bruh, I lost all respect for you. Right. I used to have him in, like, high regards. Like, sir, you couldn't tell me nothing bad about Kanye. I'll fight you over some Kanye. Yep. Now I'm like,
I understand.
Okay.
All right. So I've always been on the fence about what anti-Semitic means, because I hear it all the time lately. But it means hostile or prejudice against Jewish people. Why don't they have like an anti-Semitic for black people? Like, because I feel like if we unify, we can start throwing that around like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I just want a term, because they got Asian hate. Yeah. But I can't even say Black Lives Matter. I can't.
And that's true.
So I need a term like anti-Semitic but for black people, because I'd be like, their whole thing is we don't want to go back and have the Holocaust replay out, and it's a history behind that.
Yeah.
And I understand that. That makes total sense. I'm 100% riding for the Jewish people in y'all plight. I apologize that it is that way. But at the same time, on top of that, and to add to that, we as black people also went through something. So I feel like we need a term to make sure that they can't be putting us in the prisoner pipeline, the prison pipeline or the this and that, because obviously you are doing the exact same thing you did to us. You just reinvented. You put another patina on it. You put another cover on that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need a term like anti-Semitic for black people. I'm going to have to go find it. I don't know what it is. I don't know, and I can't have anything that lets you know it's about black people, because instantly they'll be like, "Well, what's the term for white people?" No. I just need it, just like the Jewish have it right here, where we know if somebody say anti-Semitic, you're specifically talking about Jewish people.
Yes, and honestly, I could understand exactly how the Jewish people feel.
Right.
But truth be told, and I hate to say it like this. A lot of people have been through it. Like, if you knew exactly what happened to the Native American people,
yeah, it's tragic.
Like it is horrible. Millions upon millions of Native Americans are killed by European people when they came over here. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nice. Oh well, thank you. You gave us this land. No, it's you took it by force. You killed. Over when you first came over, you killed over 20 million. Mm-hmm. Like over 95% of all Native Americans died off when Europeans came over because they were introducing illnesses and
that we
things
never dealt with.
Never dealt with because the Native Americans couldn't even fathom it. They never had that in their lives.
Well, when you start thinking about it, because over there they were doing a whole farming thing and that type of stuff. So you live in close proximity to livestock. That gave a gateway for the
and then they
sicknesses
went
to travel over, the black plague, all that. So now that jumps over here. You had chicken pox. We don't live in house with chicken. Chickens run wild. There's a clear-cut distinction between how we live and the chicken live. So if I kill the chicken and eat the chicken, it's just food.
Smallpox, chicken pox, all different types of diseases killed off literally 95% of all Native Americans.
Right.
The ones that you saw afterwards, because a lot of people thought, North America, South America, there was just no one here. No, there was a lot more people here than over in Europe.
It don't make sense for you to actually believe that, but you had people come over here, get off boats, and walk into homes.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back and read the documents and all that, it'd be like, we went in there and it was a whole village and they had corn buried in the ground and everything, and we just walked into it. You ever walk? Like, it's squatters, really. Like, the first Americans was squatters. They just showed up and was like, if nobody come claim.
They call that annexation, and they're going to give you a reservation in the trunk. Like, using that analogy, I'm going to take this one from Eddie Griffin. He was like, man, if we're going to use the analogy that they used when they first came out here, after I finish this podcast, I'm going to go in the parking lot and get in somebody's car, and I'm going to give them a reservation in the trunk. I didn't steal the car. I annexed it. Mm-hmm. That's the exact same thing.
The exact same thing.
But nobody wants to talk about those things.
Because we run low on time. Let's get back to Kanye West and his foolishness, the foolish statements he made. First, he attacked black people with the White Lives Matter. And I say he attacked black people not because he wore the White Lives Matter shirt, but because of his intent behind it. Because like I said, if you're in the Ukraine and you're white, for the most part in my world, and you decide to wear a White Lives Matter shirt to try to represent Russia trying to come and take over your land, then sure, I agree. Wear your shirt because you need support, okay? But over here, the only reason that people tend to get White Lives Matter shirts is because somebody said Black Lives Matter first. You're a retaliation to a movement, and it's not because you don't agree with the viewpoints of the movement. It's just because you want to say, nah, I ain't giving them nothing. You don't understand the plight, and you don't get it. So it is a direct attack at us, especially when you put somebody like Candace Owens up there. Don't think I'm just talking negatively about Candace Owens. She has her sometimes she say some positive quality things, and other times she stereotype us as if she is sitting up there with white face or something, like she got a red nose on and everything.
Yeah,
So
it's like they find these people to basically, hey, go and bash your race, go and say some stuff about you.
Bash your people.
Like, not like when you say certain stuff, I agree. When you say stuff that's actually factually true and things like that, I'm not gonna knock that. But you're not gonna speak on both sides, like about what's really going on here.
Right.
Oh, only thing I'm gonna do find out some more stuff about the black people. Let me try. Like, keep adding on to that stuff.
When she said that one turn, the lady, I think it's Gorilla. Shout out Gorilla. But at the same time, she got this song where she standing at this in front of this abortion clinic saying, "I got murder on my mind." I'm like, well, now it makes it easier for them to try to put our face in front of that issue. Like, the reason that they're telling us is because these unholy black people are so easily dismissive of their children. They go out and they make these mistakes and they don't want to take care of them, so they just have somebody to press delete for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Candace Owens said that, I support. Yeah, I can't argue against that. That makes sense. But we got to choose better imagery.
Yes, I will agree with that, but then I will also throw right back at her that the fact that more white people have abortions than black people.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why they say they're getting rid of stuff is because of that. So that's why I'm curious about it. Because if you say that, because black people are out in front of the clinic and doing this and doing that kind of stuff, I understand nobody should be doing that. But on the other hand, you missing that there's a lot of people of other races that have abortions.
And but what I'm saying is how I linked it to Candace Owens was I was saying she's right on that accord because the statistics don't support the imagery that Gorilla was putting out there.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not the primary people going to get abortions. We're not primary. Granted, I'm certain in some way, if we going on the conspiracy theory, that was the ultimate goal of it, but it wasn't what took place, right? So we don't want to be the face of that. Like, there's so many other things we can be the face of. So many other things that we could be.
Always the negative things, and then like Kanye, but then became the, hey, they doing it, get them, boss,
get them. So yeah, and that's what I look when it comes to Kanye, and I hate how don't get me wrong when it comes to Charlemagne and whatever. Like I hate that. I appreciate Charlemagne for bringing mental illness and especially when it comes to men to the forefront, but I hate that it became a double-edged sword used by certain people, especially Kanye. Now it's a mental issue. I made that mistake because I have mental illness. Like, no, bro, you just a sellout at this point. Stop. Like, quit it, fam. Just at a certain point, you gotta stop with the foolishness. Like, take accountability for what you're doing. Stop going around telling people how I'm the this, I'm the that, I'm the this, I'm the that. And then you always need somebody, bro. I need you to give me the factors. I need you to give me the respect. I need you to give. No.
Man, look at
you a billionaire, bro.
Kanye a billionaire, but then so many people done stopped messing with Kanye that they done pulled out on everything. Like Balenciaga pulled out on him. What was it? JP Morgan done pulled out on him. There's a couple more that done pulled out on because it's like, bruh, I don't even want to be associated with you.
The antics, bro. Like, at a certain point, it's like he reached genius status, and then he was like, instead of doing what like a Jay-Z would have did, like a Nas did, and just accept that every genius has his moment. I'm the top guy, 50 Cent. I'm the top guy. All right. Either I'm going to move into a different line. I'm not going to make no fuss or try to do no antics or gimmicks. I'm talented. It's proven that I'm good at what I do. I'm already cold. I don't have to act no more.
Yeah.
Jay-Z don't have to act no more. Who made more millionaires, billionaires, and whole? Like, at this point, for the black community, like, Like, I did that. It's done. So I don't have to show you my accolades. My proof walking around, they telling my story for me now. In Kanye West situation, bro, just lean back on your accolades. You made, there's very few, if any, rap artists right now who, I mean, before your situation, of course, like, who wouldn't give you props and say that you influenced them in some way.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to beat making, you influence so many people. For me personally, college dropout, late registration, bro, I was suffering in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was a daily listen, bro.
Yeah. Man, favorite song was Never Let Me Down. By it was Kanye West, Jay Ivory, and Jay-Z.
Easy.
And I was like, man, then he had Jesus Walks. He had all these songs that actually make you think, that actually give you uplift, actually guide you a little bit on it. It was like, man, all the things about college. First you get your master's, then you get your master's, then you get your doctorate, and all those kind of things. It just make you think of, okay, man, there's so many things that I'm trying to do versus what I want to do. Then he was like, oh, well, he go back to school just to show his mama, that
it meant something.
It meant something that you did this for me.
That you want that for me.
Like, all these kind of things. Now, look at what your name is. Like,
it's antics. I just be like I said, instead of doing what you're doing, lean back on your greatness, bro. Because I still feel like Kanye that we know is still there. It's just, it's convenient for him to be the other Kanye right now.
After so much stuff, it's getting hard to be that point. Like, truth be told, you couldn't tell, like 2007, 2008, 2006, you couldn't tell me Kanye could do any wrong. Right. When Kanye said George Bush does not like black people,
he was talking about himself.
You know how many people were actually like, man,
I agree.
I 100% agree with him. Now it's like, bro, you can't find too many people on Kanye's side.
Because Kanye lost Kanye, bro. Like, I want to do it like this. Just like I separate Robert from R. Kelly, I'm going to separate Kanye from Yeezy.
Okay. So from the point
I
of
listen to
Kanye,
Yeezy,
yeah, we're gonna cut off.
I don't listen to Yeezy. I don't do nothing Yeezus, none of that. I don't do none of that. I do Kanye West. I do the bear mascot back. Okay, when Dave Chappelle was wearing the bear costume, I do that Kanye.
The Louis Vuitton backpack.
Louis Vuitton Don. I do that.
Yeah, that's the Kanye. I'm like right there. That's Kanye.
The Kanye that I remember. I'm Kanye all the way up to Red October. right after that, I'm just gonna walk away from that. Although I do like,
I didn't think Donda went that hard.
I don't know, some of them songs hard, but it's definitely not hard enough for me to look past what he's done, because you know how R. Kelly hits you with it.
Yeah.
You saved me. He come back and be like, yeah, Robert did this. Robert did that. Happy people over here. R. Kelly happy people. Robert pee on people. It's different. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. This has been another episode of Something for the People. Go ahead and give some shout outs.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Nate Price, Green Grind. He is a personal trainer that actually takes pride in training his people. You can look him up on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He actually really cares, and he puts forth the work to show you how to work out better and how to better your life in that aspect. Yes, also, shout out to Aretha. She's in Northeast Mall.
Body sculpting.
She does body sculpting, body contouring, all those kind of things. She does it for men and women. Check her out. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. I do not have her website, but it's out there too. I will find that out. Also, subscribe the podcast. Please. Something, the number 4, DA people. We're on everything.
And
You
don't
won't-
worry, your
if
phone,
you can't find us,
you ain't looking.
mhm.
And remember, your phone will autocorrect for people, because I understand that autocorrect messed a lot of people up. They can't spell. Look, don't worry about it. DA is when your phone autocorrect that and change that to D. Just change it back. It's DA, and then your phone will finish the rest. People, it just put the PEO. Guaranteed, it's gonna finish that for you. I know. It do it for me. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. I'm just speaking from experience. Like I said, this has been D Mac. He's a barber. This has been